Knowledge, it ain't free. You gotta pay attention to Pass the Wire TV.
To Pass the Wire TV, your #1 source for horse racing news and interviews, handicapping analysis, betting insights, and more. Pass the Wire TV covers the biggest races at the best tracks.
Garnet and Luis Saez to win the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga. The Grey Wizard is absolutely flying. Champagne won. The Grey Wizard. Oh, it's very close. Leave it to the judge.
Like, share, and subscribe to Pass the Wire TV. Nobody does it better.
Hey, Sure Bet Coffee. Put that giddy up in your cup. That giddy up in your cup. Sure Bet Coffee.
Enter the world of Kingdom Nutrition, your #1 source for healthy horses and fast finishes. Make sure your horses stay strong and healthy with the balanced mineral profile of Healthy Bones. This veterinarian recommended supplement helps foals, weanlings, and yearlings grow and develop. Healthy Bones also helps speed up recovery so your horses can stay in training longer and race more often. Plus, Appetite, the amazing product for your horses. Is your horse a poor eater? Does he dunk his grain in his water bucket? Do you believe he may have ulcers? Are you tired of paying for expensive drugs which offer only temporary relief? Why not try Appetite, the amazing product which is 100% all natural, produced by nature. Appetite contains more than 300 herbs, grasses, and wildflowers to help your horses look and feel amazing. Your cost for a 1-month supply is only $99. It comes with an unconditional money-back guarantee if you're not 100% satisfied with the results. Call Justin at Kingdom Nutrition today.
Tracking trips at Pass the Wire. There is no better time than now to join and ride with this clan. We'll be your second set of expert trained eyes. We ain't gonna buy you a fish. Sure, we'll give you some, but more importantly, we'll show you how to fish and make you a better. CAWs, sharks in the water, no problem. We'll go against anybody, and we have the track record to prove it. Big days, big pools, and select days all year long. We'll outplay them all. Looking for an ace? You're in the right place. Want to find that diamond? Be with us. Want to know more? Just ask a member or visit us at PassTheWire.com and check out the Tracking Trips page. Nobody does it better.
Solomini, a top 10 first crop sire in 2023, standing at McMahon of Saratoga. 14 first crop winners, including My Shady Lady, winner of the $500,000 New York Stallion Series 5th Avenue Stakes, Grade 2 winner Winstock, and Stakes winner Solo Shot. Solomini, the 7th leading freshman sire and the only top 10 freshman sire with a Grade 1 or Grade 2 winner. He sired a $700,000 2-year-old at the OBS April sale. His juveniles sold for nearly 6 figures on average, more than 12 times the stud fee. Solomini, a controversial DQ from being a Grade 1 winner by 2-time Horse of the Year Harlan, standing at McMahon of Saratoga Thoroughbreds.
Tracking trips at Pass the Wire, no matter what your level of play is. You know, people play the horses for all types of reasons. The action, the excitement, the thrill, the challenge. Some, believe it or not, even play expecting to lose. Me, I don't have that problem. I play to win and take down scores and have been doing it successfully for a long time. This is the life I've chosen. Don't go into battle alone. I do that. And you can have me and Tracking Trips as your second set of eyes. You can be a better. Let's win this fight patience, discipline, like a cobra, ready to strike at the right time. When we win, we celebrate, and we celebrate hard because the rewards make all of it worth it. Nobody does it better. Tracking trips have passed the wire. Be a member, unless, of course, you hate money.
Well, hello, everyone. Here we are trying to hit another pick five. Last week we didn't do so well. We only had like 3 winners, but that's okay. I mean, we're going to get them today. There was a couple of tracks, so by popular demand, people were emailing me, and basically we're going to land on Gulfstream Park. There's some stakes races there, but there's the fairgrounds. That was really nice card. So if you want any of my picks for the fairgrounds, just shoot me an email right over there on the corner, charles@passthewire.com. I'm going to be doing that card. I'm going to play both cards. I'm going to see what we could do there. This is a tough card, but they're both pretty tough, to be honest with you. Fairgrounds had a lot more 2-year-olds. This one has more older horses going. So before we get started, I want to thank Racelins once again for all the tools that we get for our Racelins. And we're going to jump right into this, and we'll see what we got going here. We're going to try to get this at Gulfstream Park and in Florida. We've got some really nice races there, so we're just going to see what we get attack here first. And the first one is going to be, we're going to jump right into the 9th race. This one's on the dirt, mile and the 16th for 3-year-olds is the Harlan's Holiday. Anyway, that's what we're going to look at now. So we're going to start with that number 1 horse. This is a really nice horse. Look at this horse. Last time out, take its speed. Really, could take it right up there to it. Does this horse have to have the lead? I don't think it does. I think this horse is a pressure type. I don't think it has to have the lead. If they're going to let this horse have the lead, then, you'll take it, But this horse has been meeting some really tough cookies. You look at this, look at the last time. I mean, Dornock, you got Domestic Product in there a couple races back, So there's some really nice horses this horse has met. Todd Pletchers gave him a little bit of a break here. We got from November the 3rd now till here we are on, well, this is going to be the 21st when he runs. So this is a 3-year-old. Looks like he's going to be a pressure horse. I think he'll sit right there real close to the pace. If they let him have it, he'll take it. I think he can handle the distance of a mile 16th, no problem. Lasquez stays aboard. There's no problem there. So I think this horse is definitely one of them to beat. You got to really watch out for this horse. I think this horse is for the win column. Horses shipping back into the track, wins on multiple circuits. Really nice. I personally down there, I do not like betting that synthetic down there at Gulfstream. I do like their main track and their turf. Every once in a while, I'll play some of their synthetic, but I really enjoy their dirt and their turf over there. So this is the main player for me. I think this is one of the horses to beat. Definitely a player. Let's go on to the next one, the 2. Here's another one that likes to sit really close to the pace. Could take the lead. Could sit right off of it. I think this is another one. Of course, this horse has met horses like Domestic Product and all that stuff. So this is another one at the same level. Brian is the trainer, excellent trainer. You got Tyler Gaffaleone. This jockey and trainer combo, look at that, 50% of the wins, 100 plus 145% ROI, return on your investment, which is very nice. So you got to look at this horse as a major player. You would actually think this horse is probably more of a turf horse, but they only ran once on the, actually twice on turf, didn't do anything with this horse. The horse likes the dirt, does very well. This horse is going to be a major competitor. Is this a horse that could win? You betcha. I think this is one of the horses to beat. I think this is a 2-horse race, in my opinion. But there is a couple other horses that could upset this apple cart type of thing. So let's see what we're going to look at. I think this is one of the major players. The 3 come from behind her. Sometimes he likes to go a little bit to the front. So I think this is more of an off-pace speed horse. Could sit close as long as they're going pretty fast. If they're not going, I mean, every time they go, if this horse doesn't break well, he just doesn't do nothing. Look at this, 777. But when he breaks well, he sits really close to the pace, one off, 1 3/4 off, and then ends up winning by half a length there. In this race, it's a stakes race that this is. IRAD is aboard for Joseph Safi. This horse is the question mark here for me. I think this horse does have a lot of talent, but I think these other horses, especially the 1 and 2, have a little bit of edge on this horse on class. And I think this horse is up against it a little bit, if anything, for sure on the bottom side of supers and tries. That's how I would see it. The 4 here, another one that has some speed, but I just think it's compared to the top 2. I don't know if this one could even get the lead from those 2. Blinkers, they put blinkers on, so trying to get this horse to focus a little bit more. They might get it. Dylan's aboard. Excellent rider, in my opinion. I just think he's up against it. I think he's another one that's kind of up against it. If anything, put it on the bottom side of my supers and tries. I think this horse will give it out at the end. The 5 here, another one that sits pretty close to pace, but more off the pace a little bit more than the closer to it. So this is one of your first closers of the whole race. Will this race set it up for him? Well, I don't know. I think they would have to go pretty fast, and I don't think either one of those horses will go that fast to set it up enough for this horse. So for me, I'm going to take a seat back, let this one go. It's not for my money, not in this race. Another one that comes from behind here. This horse last time out did very good in option claimer allowance type of race. When it ran against the big guns, fifth, 6th, 7th, 5th, didn't show much. Every time they run up against there, he runs pretty even. This horse, I think, is a notch below. Another one I believe is a notch below, even though this horse is going to get bet. I mean, I think they're going to bet this horse. In my opinion, I think this horse is a notch below. A horse won last time as the favorite. That's always nice. Yeah, big time favorite. I just don't see this horse competing, especially with the top 2. I would put this definitely in my bottom side of my trifectas. And I mean, if at best this horse could do is probably exacta, but I'm going to say trifectas for me. Okay. The 7. Now here is an interesting horse. Last time out, that was terrible. But this horse was really out of the race before the race started. This horse was jumping around on the gate and everything like that. You got to go back and watch this video. This horse really took himself out of the race to begin with. So let's just toss that race. I mean, something was bothering him. He didn't want to do something. This horse, other than that, can come from behind a little bit, but I think he's more of a pace horse. Does sit probably about 4th. Could make a good little run at the end. My question is that time that he took himself out of the race last time, was that, did he get in his own head is my question. Bill Mon is the trainer, so I think he'll work that out from him, and Junior's aboard. Tyler's jumping on another horse. I believe it was the 2. So I think this horse could do some damage, but for me, not for the top 2 spots. If anything, I'd definitely put it in there for a long shot possibility to come in second. For sure, the trifectas and supers. Here's another horse that has a little bit of speed. I just don't think it has that kind of speed that we're talking about for this type of race. There's not much I could say about this horse. I mean, the last 3 races were not impressive. Actually, 4 races, excuse me. were not impressive at all. But before that, he did okay. But something happened somewhere, and maybe when they took him to Dubai, something happened and it got in this horse's head. Negative form, his second start after a layoff, out of the money in the last start, which was not good there. I think this horse has to step it up to do any kind of damage here. For me, it's not for my money. So there was that ninth race there. We're going to go and check out, see what Race Lens does. I'll show you my formula, what I have for Race Lens itself to have to see how they figured it out. And here we go. Ninth race. They have it, the one jumping out in front, the 3, 4, the 2, all sitting really tight right there. I see that. I see actually the 2 sitting second, but it's how they pop the gate is really what's really going to happen there. They got to come midway through the race. They have it 1, 2, 3. I could see that. The 7 sitting back about 5th. I could see that making one big run at the end. They have it 2, 1, 3, 6, 7. Now the 2 at 38%, 1 at 30, basically 37%. So they're saying it's really tight. And then they have the 3 at 10 and 6 at 5, and then the 7 at 3. Well, I have it 1 to win it. The 2 comes second, but I do believe it's between those 2 horses personally. The 7, I got third, and possibly the 6 hanging around for fourth, if anything. I think those 2, the 6 and the 7, are the only ones that has a shot. Both of them have a shot at that second spot, if anything. But I think the 1 and 2 are the 2 to beat. Let's check out the odds here. Let's see what we got here. Morning line, they're saying that the 1 should be at 8 to 5, and you got 5 to 2. The 2's at 8 to 5 morning line. I think they're going to be very close to each other. I think it's going to be interesting who is going to be the favorite. But I see it 1-2 myself. And this is how I set up my factors here for Gulfstream. On the dirt, speed a 4, class is a 4, form is a 4, distance, jockey, and jockey trainer all at 3. The pace is a 4. I got trainer at a 3. The track itself on the dirt, I got it as a 5. So you kind of have to like that track a little bit. The angles and track conditions at a 3. That's what I have that set up as down there in Florida for their dirt. Now we're going to go on to the next race. It's going to be a turf one now. We're going on to turf, and we'll see what we got going on there. And it's the 10th race, the Fort Lauderdale Stakes. Let's start with the 1 here. Last time out, ran a pretty even race. Look at that. 7, 3 lengths off, 5th, 2 lengths, 6, 4 lengths, 4th, 3rd lengths. Not bad. Not great, but it just was right there all the time. Just never could kick it in, passing them up. Time before that was pretty much the same pattern. It's just he finished 7th, only about 4 lengths off. You got to go back to like 3 races when he did something pretty decent. And that was at Kentucky Downs. And he did 2 good races at Kentucky Downs back to back. He went to finish a 3rd and 2nd. That was really nice. And my philosophy is like if you within, 3 lengths of the winner of your race at Kentucky Downs, your next race on another track is not going to be good. Well, he was within 3 lengths of the first time he ran there on September the 1st. September the 7th, he was within 1 length. And then guess what? The very next race, 7th. This is what I see every year from Kentucky Downs. Now, if they don't run that great at Kentucky Downs, if they finish more than 3 lengths behind the winner, then it's all bets are off. I mean, they sometimes they just don't like the track. And let's just see what the angles are here. Turf route. They just don't like the position. Beaten favorite jockey switch we got today. I think that's a 6-1, half a dozen the other on that. Does the one have a shot in my book? It has a shot, but more for third or second, if anything. I think this horse has a shot at that. I think this horse could do some damage. Going to be coming from behind a little bit, so he's got to have to stay really close, though. He has to stay really close to do any kind of damage. That's why I think the best he could do is probably second at most. But I'm picking him, to come in, third or fourth in this type of race. I just don't see him really beating at least two other horses, at least. The two. Interesting last race. I don't get that. That was a weird race for this horse. Tyler was on, just didn't run well. Let's just toss it, I guess, because all the other races, even when he finished fifth, you can see, he went wide in that race and everything, and he ran a decent race overall. He just finished fifth. He just didn't have it enough in that race. All the other races he does very well. Even when he finished eighth, he only got beat by a length and 3/4. Got to like that part. Remember, they're adding the blinkers on today. Todd, adding blinkers. First time blinkers. Look at that, 17%. That's not bad at all. You got to like that at least a little bit, right? And, remember, they're going a mile and an eighth. So cutting it back from the last two times this horse ran at a mile and a half. Actually, last three times, mile and a half. So cutting it back a little bit. This horse is going to have to be up there a little bit closer than normal. This horse is going to have to sit at least third or fourth. That's why I think they're putting the blinkers on to get a little bit more speed out of him. So look out here. I think this horse is a player, could be a major player. So watch out. Tyler's aboard. So in my opinion, this is a very, very good spot for this horse. So check it out. And then the number 3 horse here, we're going to start. This horse is going to have some speed. Might be your leader or close to it. Last time out went wire to wire on the turf there. All this stuff. I mean, this horse looks like he wants to go to the lead all the time. The thing is, can the horse hang on is the question. And in my book, I'm going to say no. And for me as a player, I'm just going to take a pass on this horse. Once again, I'm just not going to try to do too much on this race. The 4 in this race. Look how this horse runs all the time. I mean, this horse last time out, since the horse did not run from August till October, came back and won. That's a really nice sign. They got this horse in the right direction. I think this horse could sit very, very close to the pace horse. Could take over whenever he wants. We got Irad aboard. Lasix is off. That's kind of concerning a little bit, but back in the, early in 23, this horse ran without Lasix and did totally fine in grade 2s and stuff like that. Ran very well without it. So hopefully that's not a problem. This horse could, I think, could sit close enough and take over whenever he needs to do. I think this is one of the horses to beat. Major, major player. Not just to make fun of his name, Major Dude. He is a major player. Horse ships into track, wins on multiple circuits. Got to like that. Projective ratings, early pace, 105, 102, 115. Look at all these things. I think this horse is sitting on another win here. I think Todd has this horse geared up, ready to rock and roll. The 5 here. Another interesting horse, another one that kind of has to sit close, and I just don't know if it can, especially going off of that last race. Something happened there too. That was at the Breeders' Cup Mile, so maybe just a little bit too outclassed in that race. But you have to admit they had to take a shot because the time before that they ran, before the Breeders' Cup, the horse won pretty convincing. Did a heck of a job. Casey, knows how to get these type of horses ready again. This is a gelding. Davis is aboard. You got to watch out for that. That's always a play. Horse shipping into tracks, wins at multiple circuits. Got to like that. But for me, I'm going to take a seat back. I'm going to see if this horse is ready to rock and roll yet. We'll see. We'll check it all out. But does have good ratings here. A 98, 101, and a 115 at the late pace. So we'll check it out. The 6 here has been doing everything right, but at much smaller level, lower levels. This horse is going to have to step up in class. Ever since Van Dyke has gone to Florida, he's finally woke up as a jock. He's always had a lot of talent, and I'm not going to rag on him. Things happen. People, go through some spells, and he's now on a hot streak down there in Florida. So you got to like the way he's riding. He's really woke up down there himself, and he's waking up a lot of horses too, the way he's riding. I just think this horse is outclassed. I think it's a nice horse, a nice little stakes horse, a small one. But I think this horse is way outclassed, and it's not for my money in this race. A horse, I don't know if this is going to come from behind or if this horse is going to sit on the pace. I'm going to say more of a come from behind a little bit. Pace ratings 100, 104, 105. I mean, right there, it looks like it's bred very well, especially for the turf. So nothing on that angle. Early speed, then tired last time out. That was kind of weird. That's why I said I just don't know what kind of horse this is. So I think this horse could probably try to sit close. He's going to have a shot in this race. But for me, I'm just going to take a seat back, and I'm just going to let this one go today. I think there's a couple others in here that are much better. Here's a horse that's been doing well lately, especially. Sits really nice and close. He always sits really right there. And whenever he doesn't get a good break, he does close very well. If you go back 4 races, look at 11th, 14 back, 10th, 6 1/4, and all of a sudden he's 8th by 3 3/4. I mean, he did close pretty good there. So he's more of a closer. But if he sits closer to the pace, I just don't know, is he going to burn himself up? I mean, if he gets to relax a little bit better, he will be flying. So that's why I think he's he's going to be flying in this race, I think, at the end. So for me, I think this horse is much better suited for the place or the show type of bet. So I just don't know if he has enough to win this race. The 9. Here's another one that kind of wants a little bit of the early pace. I just don't know if he's going to get it. Michael Maker and Javier, they do team up. I mean, they're teaming up, and look, they're only 0% wins. They're not doing very well so far, but this horse is a nice horse. I just don't know. I think he's just a notch below some of these in here, and I just don't see his pattern, especially from his last 2 races, 12 back and 7 back. I just don't see him doing enough to get to the winner. So we're going to go and check out and see what Racelands, how they see this race developing, all that type of stuff. And here we go. Number 10, we're on the green. There's your turf. This is how they see it. Mile and an eighth on that turf. The 2, 4, 6 going to the front. I think the 2 is going to be your leader overall. Midway, you got the 2, 6, 7, 3, 4 right in there. At the end, they're saying the 4 at 63%. That's an excellent percent. You got to like that. The 2 at 15. The 5 at basically 6 and 8 at 4, and the 1 at 3. So you got to look at all that. That's turf. I'll show you my turf ratings in a second. They got major, dude. The 4, 1 to 2, and it's 5 to 1. We're not going to see 5 to 1 in this race. I would love it. I would love to see 5 to 1. But I'm still going to be happy enough where it's probably going to land, and it's probably going to be right around the 3 to 1 mark. I think the 2 is going to be the favorite, probably right around 2 to 1 or closer to even money, because it's the leader. But I just think the 4 is in the perfect spot for this race to take over. But once again, I think it's a 2-horse race. I do give the edge to the 4 myself. I really like that 4 a lot. And here's how I do the turf template for my factors. I got speed at 5, and then I got the class and form at 3, and then I got the distance at 4, the jockey trainer at 3, and then I got the pace and trainer at 4, and then all the rest, track, angles, track condition, all at 3. So check that all out. That's how I have set up for my grass all the time down south in Florida. So, once again, before we go any further, I'm going to give you my what I think is in my pick 5 down here at Florida. And remember, if you are going to be playing the fairgrounds or you want to check out, I'm going to be playing the fairgrounds myself also. There's a couple of races there I kind of really like, and I'm going to try to hit a couple of little things. You know, I got a couple of key horses. That's the main thing. John and Gio put out a video. Check it all out about how about exactas and triples or tries, as we call them. They got some good philosophies. I'm kind of in between the both of them. Kind of like I take one for another. Like John always likes to put one horse on top of another for exacta, you know, ice cold. I agree with that policy. If the horse is the favorite, the one I really like to win, I'm just going to ice cold. But if I have 2 horses, I have one horse I think is going to be the winner, and he's, let's just say, 8 to 1. And I think that it's got a great shot of being winner. I picked it to win, but I got my second shot is around 8 to 1 also. I think it's a great shot. I will box those 2. I will box them. So it just depends on a little bit on the odds, a little bit on that. But I do like to do a lot of ice colds on exactas when it comes to that. Triples. Trifectas, I do it a lot of different ways. If all my horses, my top 3 horses, I think I have a heck of a shot of winning, and they're all within 4 to 1 and 6 to 1, somewhere in there, 4 to 6 to 1. I box them, plus I'll throw in whatever I think it might be the big special upset horse type of horse that could spoil the apple cart, or if you want to call that. That might pick up second or third. I do like John's philosophy. If you do like, you know, just 2 horses or one particular, you put the one on top, and then you hit 2 or 3 in the second slot, and then you hit that all button at the back end. Because I agree with him, man. It's you leave 1 or 2 horses out, and that's the one that's going to mess you up. I'd rather be on the winning side of that. So I agree with him on that aspect. On that, when it comes to Gio, you know, he handicaps. He puts a lot of work in, and I do respect all his work that he puts in, and he does a great job. Every place that he puts in there, he has who he thinks is going to win, who's going to come in 4th, who's going to come in 8th, you know, all that stuff. And he does that for a reason, because, you know, he's looking at what happens in this race, especially if there's scratches or exacta time. If he thinks, you know, his 5th, 6th, and 7th horses could actually do some damage, you know, he'll throw them in on the bottom side of his trifecta or whatever. So I understand why he does. I pick 4 horses, and usually it's my top 2 I think are the top 2 horses to beat. Sometimes I'll say it's these 3 horses, but usually my 4th pick is who I really for sure think has the best shot of only finishing 3rd or so. It's my top 3 picks is usually is like, if I say this is my best bet of the day, that's who I think is really going to win. But if I say, oh, it's between these three horses, I think any kind of mix that could happen there. Those you're going to have to put on tickets, as you know what you do with pick threes or pick fours or even pick fives, which we're going to go and look at right now. Sometimes if you're playing a pick five, sometimes you do have to put a lot of horses in one race just to get out of it, because you like a key horse. And when you got to have a key horse, if you don't have a key horse, honestly, don't play a pick five or a pick six. Honestly, you really shouldn't. Here we go. Seventh race starts the pick five, and the seventh race, I do like the 8 on top, 1, 3, 7. That's the order I like them in. I'm going to do exactly the 8 on top of the 1. For my pick five, I'm going with all 4 horses, 8, 1, 3, 7 in that first leg. The second leg is, which I think is the most wide open. That's a sprint on the turf. It's very tough. It's extremely tough. I'm going 6 deep. And I could probably make an argument for another horse or two, to be honest with you. But I believe the order I put them in is 1, 7, 11, 10, 8, 5. That's the second leg of my pick five. Then the third leg of my pick five, which is the 9th race, I like the 1, 2, 7. Theoretically, I really do like the 1, 2 a lot. The 7's in there just in case. We got to have prices somewhere in your pick five to make it a little meaty if something happens. And I think that's the only horse that has somewhat of a shot of hitting it, getting that win for some reason. Possibly. I think it's got a slim chance, but you know what? It has the best of all the other horses between the 1 and the 2, other than the 1 and the 2, I should say. And if that horse comes in, it's going to be a nice little, it's going to help that pick five a lot. In that 4th leg, I do like, in the 10th race, that's a stakes race, I do like that 4 a lot, even though Racelands is really kind of thinking that 2 is going to go out the lead. It's going to be tough to catch. I really like the 4. I think he's sitting in a perfect spot. I think this horse is ready to rock and roll. I think it's going to do a lot of damage. And then in the last leg, the 11th race, I do like 5 horses here. I'm going to take 5 horses, the 8, 4, 12, 9, 11. And that's what I'm going to go with. That's my pick 5. We're going to go back to the 8th race. I like the 1, 7, 11, 10. I'm going to do a try 1, 7 on top of the 1, 7, 11, 10. And then I'm going on 1, 7, 11, 10, 8, 5 on the back end. The 9th race, I do like 1, 2, 7, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 7, 6. And then I'm hitting the all button if something big price comes in on the back end. Doing a daily double of a 1, 2 on top of the 4. In the 10th race, I like the exacta 4 over the 2, the win on the 4, and then a daily double of the 4 over the 8, 4. And then the last race, the 11th, I like the 8, 4, 12, 9. And there's that trifecta once again there too. Try 8, 4 over the 8, 4, 12, 9, 11. And over the 8, 4, 12, 9, 11 again. So that's how I see that. Let's go out there and get some winners. And like I said, once again, shoot me an email if you guys want anything on the fairgrounds, or you have any questions about anything about the jockeys, trainers, anything, claiming horses, buying horses. And next week, I'm going to give you a heads up of what I'm going to be doing. I will be handicapping the opening day at Santa Anita, which is always a huge thing there in California. Is the day after Christmas. Doing that, I'm going to handicap those races. So we'll check out Santa Anita next week. So I'm going to have an early show next week, and we'll go and see you then. So until then, let's go out there and get the winners, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.
Nobody does it better.
You're watching Past the Wire TV.
Tracking trips at Past the Wire, your second set of eyes in horse racing.
Solomini,
Be a
a
member.
top 10 first crop sire in 2023, standing at McMahon of Saratoga. 14 first crop winners, including My Shady Lady, winner of the $500,000 New York Stallion Series 5th Avenue Stakes, Grade 2 winner, Winstock, and Stakes winner, Solo Shot. Solomini, the 7th leading freshman sire and the only top 10 freshman sire with a Grade 1 or Grade 2 winner. He sired a $700,000 two-year-old at the OBS April sale. His juveniles sold for nearly 6 figures on average, more than 12 times the stud fee. Solomini, a controversial DQ from being a Grade 1 winner by 2-time Horse of the Year Harlan, standing at McMahon of Saratoga Thoroughbreds.
Breed the best, and hope for the best.
Macoma broke well on the outside. And
But you don't expect to get speed like this.
it is Macoma, the one to catch. Macoma has a 5-length lead in this Grade 1 corner. Outside, Macoma continues the battle on down at the rail. It is Macoma who's going to win the Met Mile.
Nobody does it better.